Charles didn't just hand William the crown. He handed him the pen that writes Camilla's future. 20 powers not seized, given, royal warrants, £1 billion estate, her home, her security, her funding. Charles transferred them, quietly, one by one. Then William told Camilla to cut ties with her closest friend. Charles said nothing. Every tiara she's worn as queen, back to William's vault. Kate wears them next. She already knows. Last month, Camilla moved Ray Millhouse into her children's names. She's not waiting. We're going through all 20. Number 20 is the one nobody talks about. It's also the most devastating. A blank page, where her name used to be. Number 1, the Royal Warrant Authority. June 2025, Buckingham Palace confirmed that Charles personally appointed William and Kate as grantors of royal warrants. Starting spring 2026, the Crown's commercial endorsements, William and Kate granted, Camilla not included. Hello Magazine and Marie Claire both reported it. She has warrant granting authority right now because Charles does. When his reign ends, so does hers. The document exists. Her name is not on it. Think about that for a second. The man she married gave his son's wife an authority he didn't give her. Kate becomes the first Princess of Wales to hold warrant authority since 1910. From co-grantor to invisible, while she is still queen. But that document didn't need a plane. The next power did. Number 2, the world stage. November 6th, 2025, COP30, Belém, Brazil. People magazine reported it the same day. Charles's flagship cause. 50 years of his life. He sent William, not Camilla. William stood next to Prime Minister Starmer at the General Plenary of Leaders. Camilla has no independent diplomatic mandate. When Charles can't travel, she doesn't go in his place. The foreign leaders William met will be there long after Charles is gone. They'll call William. She's not in their address book. Diana understood something about diplomacy that Camilla never grasped. Real influence isn't the person standing beside the king. It's the person the world calls when the king can't come. Diana had that before she turned 35. William is building that now. Camilla never will. Because influence built on proximity dies when the proximity ends. And Charles's proximity is borrowed time. I really want to get to the briefings. The rooms she reportedly wasn't allowed into. But first, number 3. Because 3 didn't happen on paper. It happened in person. At Windsor Castle. Number 3, the Investiture Authority. January 2026. Yahoo News Canada confirmed it. William conducted investiture ceremonies in Charles's name, the formal act of bestowing the crown's honors on British citizens. Camilla has never held this power. Never. It belongs to Charles. And by delegation, now to William. The chair at Windsor Castle is the same. The name on the invitation changed, and it will not change back. And now, a legal distinction most people have never had explained to them. One that changes everything about what Camilla actually holds. Number 4, the Counselor of State. The Regency Acts, 1937 to 1953. Charles gave both William and Camilla the same title, same words, completely different legal foundation. Camilla holds hers because she's the king's wife. William holds his because he's heir to the throne. Think about that for 1 second. When the marriage ends, when Charles dies, one of those foundations survives. The other disappears. Diana lost every piece of standing derived from her marriage the moment the divorce was finalized. Every piece. The title, the security detail, the household budget, gone. The constitutional framework didn't care that she was the most famous woman on earth. It stripped her anyway. It won't care about Camilla either. William's authority transforms into the full power of the crown. Camilla's simply ends. Same title. Completely different future. And honestly, that's what should terrify her. Not the loss of a title. The loss of the legal ground beneath it. Number 5 transferred in a single moment. Nobody even reported it as a handover, but £22.9 million moved with it. Number 5, the Duchy of Cornwall. The Duchy of Cornwall's own integrated report, published June 2025, confirmed the numbers. 135,000 acres, 12 historic properties, a distributable surplus of £22.9 million. The second Charles became king in September 2022, it moved to William in a second. Camilla has no claim to duchy income, not as queen, not as dowager, not ever. William's already appointed his own secretary, Will Bax, already repurposed its resources. The duchy no longer runs on Charles's model. And William's priorities do not include her. 5 powers, all deliberate, all documented, all while Camilla was still queen. But the next 5 transferred because Charles got ill, and every duty he couldn't perform became a duty William absorbed. And that's where Diana's shadow gets longer. Soon you'll hear about number 12, the forever home, the kingdom. William's building on land she's never walked. But first, 6 through 9, because those 4 show the scale of what William quietly absorbed while the country was watching Charles recover. Number 6 doesn't have a date, it has a percentage, and it's devastating. Number 6, the majority of royal duties, 2025. Mixvale and In Touch Weekly both reported it. Charles's cancer treatment cut his public schedule from over 200 events to fewer than 50. William absorbed roughly 80% of constitutional duties, state business, government relations, the functions that make the monarchy function. Camilla also increased her engagements, but there's a difference between appearing at a charity reading and carrying the constitutional machinery of the crown. William absorbed the substance. She absorbed the ceremony. The palace reorganized itself around him, not around her, and that operational center didn't stay in London, it went international. Number 7, international representation. Multiple overseas trips in Charles's name. France, Singapore, Brazil, 10 countries confirmed by Kensington Palace. Each trip built diplomatic relationships that belonged to William personally. Camilla has no independent mandate to represent Britain abroad, from partner to passenger, from relevance to invisible. Diana walked into rooms and owned them, not because of a title, because people trusted her. She walked through active minefields in Angola when politicians wouldn't. William inherited that instinct. Camilla borrowed proximity to Charles and called it influence. When Charles goes, so does the proximity. Stay with me on this one, because it wasn't illness that forced it. Charles chose this. Number 8, the Earthshot cosign. October 9th, 2025, News and BBC both confirmed it, the Natural History Museum. Charles stood beside William at the countdown to COP30 event, 50 years of climate work, and he endorsed his son's environmental leadership on camera, in front of the world. He was well enough to be there. He chose to stand beside William and hand him the cause that defined his life. Charles blessed it. The camera saw it happen. I really want to show you number 20 now, the blank page. But first, the midpoint, 8 powers down. You need to see what comes next to understand what they all mean together. And number 9 is the one most outlets missed completely. ABC News described it in 2 words. Number 9, the independent press voice. March 9th, 2026. ABC News reported it and called it first ever. Kensington Palace issued its first ever independent public statement on a family matter. About Andrew. Charles maintained the separate palace structure, never shut it down. Camilla doesn't have an independent press office. William's team speaks first. Her message goes through whatever structure he gives her, or doesn't. And then, the most private power on this list. The one Us Weekly described as happening behind closed doors. Number 10, the succession briefings. Us Weekly reported that William is being briefed on constitutional matters and preparing behind the scenes. Multiple sources across 2025 confirmed private meetings between Charles and William about the succession, father to son, in rooms that sources say Camilla was not part of. Think about what that means. The decisions about her future, her title, her residence, her role, her funding, reportedly discussed between the 2 of them. Behind closed doors, without her. Whatever William does next, he's not improvising. He's known for years. 10 powers, the Warrant Authority, the world stage, the investitures, the counselor title, the duchy, the duties, the diplomacy, the Earthshot cosign, the press office, and the briefings she wasn't part of. 10, all while Charles is alive, all while she is still queen. The next 10 don't need his permission. But first, the silence. Because what Charles didn't do next tells you more than anything he did. The silence didn't just happen once. It happened at the worst possible moment. When Camilla needed Charles to protect her most. Number 11, the Fergie position. February 20. 26, Radar Online and In Touch Weekly both reported it. Palace sources said William made his position clear, including to Camilla, that Sarah Ferguson, her closest friend, is no longer welcome. No ambiguity. Sources say Charles didn't intervene. Fergie was one of Camilla's most consistent allies. William's position put Camilla in a choice her own husband reportedly didn't protect her from. Charles said nothing. 4 words from the intro. This is the evidence behind them. In a monarchy, silence is permission. And Charles gave it. Diana knew what that silence meant. She lived inside it for a decade. Every time the palace chose not to defend her, it was the same signal. Silence isn't neutral. In a palace, silence is a weapon. Charles's silence toward Camilla isn't cruelty. It's precedent. And where William chose to build his kingdom tells you who he plans to share it with and who he doesn't. Number 12. Forest Lodge. November 2025. NBC News and Hello both confirmed it. The Prince and Princess of Wales moved into Forest Lodge in Windsor Great Park. Kensington Palace confirmed it as their forever home. 20-year Crown Estate lease at market rent. Sources say they plan to remain as king and queen. Think about that. A king's court is where he lives. Camilla has never been there, never been invited. The home William is building for his reign has no structural place for her. His kingdom is his. She has no door into it. What Diana understood about royal households, Camilla is now learning. The hard way. Number 13, no live-in staff. August 2025. NBC News confirmed it. William and Kate run Forest Lodge without butlers, valets, or palace insiders under their roof. Diana understood what staff meant. Information travels through the people who serve. She was managed through that network for years. Now Forest Lodge sits outside it entirely. Nobody at William's home reports to anyone in Camilla's office. William sees everything. She sees what he decides she sees. The disagreement in number 14 proved the power dynamic by itself. Because Charles didn't dismiss his son. He negotiated with him. Number 14, the Christmas confrontation. December 2025, Marie Claire and She Finds both reported it. Palace sources said William challenged Charles directly over the Christmas arrangements. Charles overruled him. But, and this is what matters, Charles engaged, discussed it as a near equal. A king who negotiates with his heir rather than commanding him has already handed that heir a form of standing no document creates. The gap between heir and king narrows every time Charles treats William as a partner. And that narrowing favors William's authority, not Camilla's position, not even close. Diana always believed the monarchy should reach people directly, not through ceremony, not through tiaras and protocols. She knelt on hospital floors. Her son is building that monarchy right now, while Charles watches. And the stage Camilla performs on? William is taking it apart, piece by piece, while his father says nothing. Number 15, the stage being taken apart. The Times reported in June 2025 that palace sources confirmed William's coronation will be shorter, more purposeful, less pageantry. The Sun and Marie Claire added details in October. William directed staff to drop formal attire at Forest Lodge. Charles hasn't objected. Camilla's standing rests on ceremony. The stage she performs on is being simplified piece by piece. William isn't rebuilding it for her. He's rebuilding it for him. 5 powers left, all constitutional. And soon, number 18, the property one, the one she already started preparing for. But first, 16 and 17. Because understanding what William inherits and what he controls is the only way to understand what that blank page actually means. Number 16 isn't about money. It's about everything she's ever worn as queen. Number 16, the royal collection. Over 1 million objects worth more than £10 billion, held in trust for the sovereign. Royal Collection Trust documentation confirms it, not the consort. Every tiara Camilla has ever worn transfers to William's control when he becomes king. She owns none of it, not one piece. The Greville emerald kokoshnik, the Burmese ruby tiara, the George VI sapphire tiara, borrowed. Every crown, every gem, on loan from the family Diana was part of, and we all know who wears them next. Kate carries Diana's sapphire ring every day. Kate raises Diana's grandchildren. Kate wears them next, from the vault to Camilla's hands, to the vault, and then to Kate's. Diana's ring, Diana's grandchildren, Diana's legacy. Let that land for a second. The money is next, and it's worse than you think, because there's no floor. Number 17, the Sovereign Grant. The Sovereign Grant report for 2024 to 25 shows the figure, £86.3 million. Every allocation is the King's discretion under the Sovereign Grant Act of 2011. Camilla's staff, travel office, all funded because Charles decided they are. William decides next. There's no legal floor for what a Queen Dowager receives. No statutory minimum. Diana had no independent crown income after 1996. The same framework applies now. Every pound Camilla receives flows through one man's decision. That decision passes to William, from a funded queen to a dowager who asks. That's the new reality. 3 left, and number 18 is the one she already started preparing for. The proof is in the land registry. Number 18, Clarence House and the Ray Mill transfer. Clarence House belongs to the Crown. When William becomes king, who lives there is his call. And last month, hello, Magazine and the Daily Mail both confirmed it. Land registry documents showed Ray Mill House, Camilla's private Wiltshire estate, transferred to trustees representing her children. Royal Central reported the transfer reflects a long-standing arrangement, her own property, the one she called her refuge, her words to country life. And she gave it away, not sold, transferred. She did this while Charles is still king. She didn't have to. She already knows. She's not waiting. 3 words from the intro. Number 18 is what those 3 words mean. Number 19 has a named precedent. William said it himself. On the king's own brother. Number 19, the security standard. Royal security allocations are reviewed when roles change. Andrew lost his documented public record. Harry fought in British courts for years trying to restore his, also documented. Palace sources reported William supported Andrew's removal immediately, in writing, before the public announcement. The precedent exists, named, documented, applied to the king's own brother without hesitation, without apology, without a single public objection from anyone in the family. A Queen Dowager with no constitutional function sits closer to Andrew's position than to her current one. William set the standard. The review follows the role change automatically. He doesn't need to target her. The process does its own work. Number 20, no more waiting. The blank page the intro promised. Number 20, the blank page. Queen Dowager. That's the title she'll hold when Charles is gone. Royal Central confirmed what it contains, and Newsweek and multiple constitutional experts verified it. No constitutional role, no automatic residence, no guaranteed funding, no prescribed public function. It's a container, and William holds the pen. This one is different from every item before it. It's not a document or a building or a budget line. It's the definition of what she becomes. Every detail of her life after Charles, where she lives, what staff she keeps, which events she attends, what she's called, whether anyone remembers her at all, decided by one person. She spent 30 years becoming Queen Camilla, 30 years, and when Charles dies, the identity she built becomes the property of a 15-year-old boy's memory. William was 15 when he walked behind his mother's coffin. He said it was one of the hardest things he'd ever done. He used his hair as a shield, so no one could see him cry. Diana won, not through protests, not through a court case, not through a campaign, not through anything Camilla could have defended against. She won the only way that matters, through her son. The boy who hid his face behind his hair so no one could see him break. That boy holds all 20 of these powers now, every single one. The blank page is his to fill. Those were the 20 powers Charles handed William, and the blank page called Queen Dowager, with William holding the only pen. But there's one thing that could protect Camilla from all 20. One strategy Charles built over 2 decades specifically to shield her, and William has already broken it. He didn't break it once. He broke it 20 times, deliberately, while his father watched. If you want to see the 20 rules William has already broken that Charles made to protect Camilla, click here.